Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation startups of the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. And for sure, today, we are definitely not talking about any of those things. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now, over the last little while, I talked about Twitter and free speech last week. And over the last week, there have been a lot of bombshells in the free speech world, as we could say. So I don't know if anybody watches Alex Jones, but I'm sure some clips of this interview showed up on the mainstream media. And it was about Kanye West, who calls himself Ye now, went on Alex Jones and talked about how he liked Hitler, how he believed that the Holocaust was a hoax, that 6 million Jews didn't perish during World War II. And the accompanying hullabaloo around this was immense. It was insane. And I thought to myself, okay, I disagree with what he has to say. In fact, most of you out there probably disagree with what he has to say. And that's okay. That's okay that we all disagree with what he has to say. The important thing is that he has a platform to speak. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, why? This is hate speech. If you think about it, there's no such thing as hate speech. Because how do you define what hate speech is? Speech is speech. And if we really believe in freedom of speech, we should be able to allow people to say whatever they want. But we also have the freedom to disagree with what they're saying. Think about it this way. Somebody said afterwards, I saw a tweet afterwards that said, Ye says he loves all people. I guess that includes Putin and Mao and Xi and Hitler. And I said, well, what if you change that phrase to say, Ye loves all people, including Jesus, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, right? If you say you love all people, then you include the good and the bad, right? Because that's all people. I mean, a lot of people would stop and say, wait a minute. When I say I love all people, it's assumed that I don't love hateful people. No. You either love all people or you don't love all people. Personally, I don't love all people. There's plenty of people I do not love. But there's plenty of people I don't hate either. So let's step back. Over the last little while, see, when the internet first started, it was awesome. Everybody could say whatever they wanted to. Freedom of speech was rampant. Maybe a lot of people didn't like that. Because they were being exposed to things that they didn't like to look at. But I have the same answer for everyone who has that problem. Don't look at it. If there's something on TV that you don't want to see, turn it off. Change the channel. You don't have the right to stop other people from looking at it, other people from watching it, other people from saying things that you don't like. That's one of the things that makes America great, is the ability for us to freely speak to each other and not shut each other down when people have differing opinions. You may want to say something that I don't like, but you should be allowed to say it, no matter what it is. Black lives matter. It's okay to be white. All of these things should be allowed, and no one should be trying to cancel anyone else with political correctness or whatever. So what is the future of free speech? Well, look at what's happening with Twitter. Twitter, if you ask me, is a much more dynamic community now that it seems to have been unshackled. There's still things that you cannot do on the platform. There's still plenty of things that cannot be done on the platform. But there's more that can be done on the platform. It's getting closer to true free speech. And if you ask me, I don't think we're ever going to get to that point. We're never going to get to that point because we have laws. I mean, if you think about it, we still, Twitter and other companies still have to abide by the laws of the country that they're in. So if there's something that's specifically outlawed in the United States or in Germany or whatever country, something that's specifically outlawed, say for example, talking about Nazis. So talking about Nazis, Nazism, Hitler, that's not allowed in Germany. So that has to be expunged from German Twitter. So the laws of the country that the company is in that's providing the free speech platform still have to be bound. We're not in a position yet where we have the ability to totally freely speak, well, on some platforms, I guess, maybe on the dark web or on 4chan or some of these other platforms where really anything goes. There are places on the internet where you can have pure free speech. There's very few places where things are not allowed. There's very few places. There are a few places out there where pretty much anything is allowed. Pretty much anything. And if you search for them, you'll find them if you are interested in that kind of speech. But like I said, it's your choice. No one is forcing you to follow Ye. No one is forcing you to follow Elon Musk. No one is forcing you to be on Twitter. If you don't like the environment on Twitter, leave. That is the beauty of all of this. You have a choice. The only problem is that some people, see, this is the thing that really bugs me about governments and politicians and all of these people. It's like, I don't want to get into any kind of profession where I try to force other people to change their behavior. Let them do what they want. If I was a government employee, I'd probably want to, one of the things you want to do is you want to be a busybody. You want to change how things work. You want to change employees' people's behavior, citizens' behavior, because you don't want them to litter so much. You don't want to do this or that. You want to change other people's behavior. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to change other people's behavior for that particular goal. I want to just let people do what they want. And if you're unhappy about what they're doing, then you can look away or don't talk to them. Don't watch them. Don't interfere with them. Don't discuss with them. That's the beauty of it. We have the choice to decide what to watch. This stuff isn't forced on us. This is not like 1984 where we have a giant monitor in all of our homes forcing us to watch the government channel, the Ingsoc channel. This is not that. We have the full choice to watch any of this stuff. We have the full choice to participate in any of this stuff. It is our choice to do it. And we don't have the right to really stop anyone from saying anything they want. So I think that would be great if we could do that, but we can't. We won't because, like I said, the laws of certain governments supersede what these companies want to do. And if somebody tries to say something that breaks the law in these countries, then that suppression is there. But who knows? And maybe at some point in the future, we will have a platform that is true free speech, that allows anyone to say anything about anything. And we should allow that to happen. Now, some people might say, no, there's no way we can do that because too many people will be hurt by this commentary. Well, I ask you, when did we get to the point where we're so hurt by words? I remember my high school teacher having a class where we were talking about the worst words that anybody says. Logophobia. Why are we afraid of words? We should stop fearing words. Like I said last week, fear is being tied to the tracks in front of an oncoming train. Anxiety is thinking about being tied to the tracks in front of an oncoming train. What are those words doing to you? Are they creating fear or are they just creating anxiety? Anxiety is something that you create within yourself. Fear is an external thing. You can take that word any way you want. You can ignore it. You can say, that's just his opinion. I don't really care about his opinion. Or you can take it and really bother yourself with it. Who's doing the bothering? You or them? That's it for me for today. See you next time. Until then, don't forget to think future.